Good afternoon, East Texas. I'm CBS19 Chief Meteorologist Brett Anthony here in the CBS19 Weather Center with meteorologist Sarah Blue. We are tracking the potential for severe thunderstorms this afternoon. And just recently, the Storm Prediction Center out of Norman, Oklahoma, issued a tornado watch for a large chunk of East Texas that's in effect until 7 o'clock. It does include Smith County, Gregg County, also Harrison County is going to be included in that. And then you've got Cherokee County, Rusk County, we've got Panola and Shelby County, Nacogdoches County, Cherokee County is included, Angelina, San Augustine, and Sabine, and also a portion of Houston County and all of Trinity County. There might be a little sliver of Anderson County, but it's the far southeastern corner, so if you live in Anderson County, really I think you're not going to be in this tornado watch for the most part. All right, so we are streaming right now live on our Facebook page and on our CBS19.tv. I'm keeping the stream up, so if you have any questions, I can answer those. But right now, this is the current situation, and meteorologist Sarah Blue is going to zoom us in down here to Hemp Hill. And right now, that's where, and you know something, Sarah, I might have my magic track turned on, so you might have to turn that off. And that's going to be, okay, thank you. So right here, this is the strongest thunderstorm that we're tracking currently. And you can see we even have our Titan indicator on it. And it's a medium strength thunderstorm, gaining some strength, perhaps some hail in there. Lightning is something that we're going to watch. If that lightning increases in that cell, then it will also become stronger. But it looks like heavy rain currently, maybe a little bit of small hail inside that cell as it moves into Sabine County out of San Augustine County. There are some other stronger cells to our south. Currently, no warnings, in effect, no severe thunderstorm warnings, no tornado warnings. What we do have are some special weather statements from the National Weather Service, and that means these are strong thunderstorms that aren't quite up to the strength that meet the severe criteria. So what does that mean? Well, typically we start issuing severe thunderstorms when the winds in a thunderstorm are expected to be at 58 miles per hour or greater. So that means the winds inside this storm are less than that, or perhaps hail the size of quarters. So if there's any hail inside this cell, it is likely going to be smaller than that. All right, Sarah, let's click on that Titan indicator and get an idea of what we're looking at inside the storm. So what the Titan indicator can do is it sort of dissects the storm. So it uses some algorithms looking at the potential strength and rotation, and you can see it's moving to the northeast, and it is moving at a fast clip at 51 miles an hour right now. The probability that it has some hail in there is at 90%, but notice the hail size. It's about 0.2 of an inch, so just about the size of a nickel. Maybe just a little bit larger than a nickel. No tornado impact with that storm right now. There is a lot of wind being produced by the storm, so there's likely some very gusty winds within that cell as it moves northeastward. And that time that we just showed you on that was 109. A hail impact's low, the flood impact is also low. So right now we're getting some strong winds out of this and some small hail, so that's why it has a special weather statement on that cell at this time. All right, so we'll remove that, and then let's kind of pan that over toward the left side of the screen. We'll put a track on this cell, I'm sorry, the other direction, and we'll track this out to the northeast at 51 miles an hour. So that's going to be this part of the cell here, 51 miles an hour. So that means it's going to be up toward Nacogdoches in no time at all, out of East Texas and really into parts of Louisiana, and this is just flying along here, so that's good. So that means it takes it into Zwall by about 139, Pleasant Hill 156, and so that's easily into Louisiana here within the next few minutes. Then we look back to the west. We have this developing thunderstorm getting a little bit stronger, eastern parts of Shelby County east of Center. Again, no warning placed on that. Toward Broadus, you have that cell with some rain and thunder coming down also at this time. So currently, again, we have that severe tornado watch that goes until 7 o'clock, but currently no severe thunderstorm warnings in effect right now. All right, so we'll clear the page, we'll widen it out, we'll put all of this into motion so you can kind of see just the movement, and if we can see if we spot any rotating cells. For instance, that storm right there now just showing some minor rotation, and that's going to be, I believe, in Newton County. So this may clip southeastern parts of Sabine County, but for the most part, that cell there should move into Louisiana before it becomes too problematic. But you can see it was showing rotation. It was telling us it had a stronger updraft, and now it's starting to rotate. So that cell there could become a tornado as it moves into Louisiana. Meantime, back here, a little bit of rotation noted with that cell. That's weak rotation around Palestine right now, but an indication that that cell is strengthening just a little bit. Meantime, there is a line of drier air out here to the west. So what will likely happen this afternoon is that we'll get these showers and thunderstorms that will move to the east of Tyler. And the first counties that will be dropped from the tornado watch will be Smith County, that little sliver of Anderson County, and then likely Gregg County. And that may happen within the next hour or two once we start to see all the action kind of develop down here. Computer model data suggests that we're going to see the bulk of this. This is where the best parameters are. The best dynamics for any type of severe weather really exists from Rusk County to Nacogdoches County over toward Panola into Shelby County and Angelina County. And that's kind of where things are shaping up right now. So let's pause this and let's just investigate that cell there back toward Palestine. We'll zoom in and kind of give you a little look at that a little closer. There may be some weak inflow. It looks like there's a little bit of inflow into the cell here. So there's a little rotation developing with that. But again, it's minor. Anytime we see green, we know that it's really a low end threat for a rotating supercell. But let's click on that if we can and kind of just take a little look inside. I don't see any lightning associated with that, so technically not a thunderstorm, but it could just begin to gain some strength here. And it has a small tornado impact, so the rotation is certainly there for sure. And maybe some brief heavy rain coming down as it moves to the northeast at 42 miles an hour. So let's clear that off and track that up toward Jacksonville and Mixon and Rusk. And in fact, it just strengthened a little bit more. So that's headed up toward Jacksonville, Mixon, Rusk here at about 40 to 42 miles an hour. So let's see where that would take it in the next few minutes. Toward Natchez, toward CUNY, Jacksonville at about 147, so that's in about a half hour. Mount Selman about 151, New Summerfield around 2 o'clock, Troop and Sinclair City if it holds together. So that cell gaining a little bit of strength. Again, it looks like the inflow has tightened a little bit on the backside of that. It looks like there may be some winds also dropping down from that cell. And so this has tightened up and gotten a little bit stronger in the last just couple of scans from radar. All right, looking at radar or looking at our Facebook page again. And I appreciate you all joining us from our Facebook page. If we get a tornado warning, of course, we'll break into programming. But right now we have just our map up. And if there is a severe thunderstorm warning, we would have a crawl. But at this current time, it's just a tornado watch until 7 o'clock. So not a lot going on. Sarah, let's zoom in on that cell just a little bit closer in on that cell toward Palestine. I'm going to move my little tray over here so I can kind of look to my left and read a little bit easier. So, all right, so that's northwest side of Palestine right now. I know it doesn't look like it's much, but just looking at just how this little indentation here is where there's some, perhaps there's a lot of moist air out there this afternoon. The dew points are easily into the mid 60s. And there's some drier air that's also coming in from the backside of this. So it's likely encountering some flow, drier air flowing in from the backside of the storm and then that warm, moist air out ahead of it. So right in here, that cell's trying to start to rotate. So we'll keep an eye on that. I don't see any, again, lightning with that, but we may start to soon see lightning with that cell. If we do, then we know we're going to have to keep an eye on that one even closer. All right, let's put that into motion. We'll turn off the storm track. If you can turn this portion off and put that into motion. And we'll see exactly how that, in fact, that looks like in the last couple scans it may have weakened just a little bit. That would be interesting. One thing, if it is weakening, if some of these cells move into this area out here toward Ironton and along Highway 84 and weaken before they move toward Dialville, this area here got worked over by some rain. It doesn't have a ton of available energy to work with. And so some of our cells may move into that, and that would be interesting to watch. They'll move into this environment here. They won't have as much energy to work with, and so they may either weaken slightly or even perhaps fall apart. So that looked like it was starting to try to tighten up a little bit, and now that does look like it's taken on sort of a weaker signature. All right, widen it out, and let's look at everything here. We'll stay on for just a couple more minutes on the stream, and then we'll continue to monitor everything. Our strongest cell continues to be over Sabine County, San Augustine County, moving quickly into Louisiana. There's also a stronger cell that was lifting here into Newton County, lifting northward. This one toward Chester would probably also need to be watched as it lifts north and eastward into this environment. Again, these thunderstorms here, and I've seen this happen, where you'll get these thunderstorms that are discrete and by themselves. They get clustered up with other thunderstorms. These thunderstorms basically choke off the the air that can be ingested into that storm, and so it reaches a certain peak strength, and then it just sort of has to move away and move out of that environment, or it merges with another cell. So interesting to look at. How about a little wider view back up toward Tyler? Not much going on. Toward Gilmer, nothing right now. Toward Palestine, there was that cell. There's still this other cell back here. Again, if you want to call it the dry line, you can. There is drier air, but it's not necessarily a whole lot less humid, and it's not a whole lot cooler, but there is a change in the air mass between Dallas and, say, Athens and Mount Pleasant. So this little change in the air mass here is where better weather moves in, where some drier air will move in, and once these storms once that line moves a little bit farther to the east, the storms will also move farther to the east, and the threat of severe weather should be over. In fact, our threat of severe weather in East Texas could be over as early as 4 o'clock this afternoon. That watch goes until 7, but remember, it includes a large portion of Louisiana. Again, 2 cells that we need to watch, this one here in Newton County and one back to the west of that. All right, I'll just advance on. This is a live picture here from Nacogdoches, where we have cloudy skies at 74 degrees. This is what I'm talking about, the fuel for these severe thunderstorms. Right now, dew points are in the 60s. This is supercell rotation potential. So and this is that one cell that was moving toward Anderson County. All right, so that still has the potential. Here are those other cells that I just showed you on radars. They move across parts of San Jacinto County into Jasper, Newton County. Interesting enough, it tries to pick up a little bit of a rotating cell up toward Cass County, but I think most of the action here by 4 o'clock is going to shift into extreme deep East Texas and into western parts of Louisiana, and that should be it for us. In terms of low-level wind strength, and sometimes the low-level wind strength can add to the updraft, and it can also be the winds that come in behind the storm, and then those get downward transferred to the surface. And you'll see that here, the best wind support is in Panola, Nacogdoches, Rusk County into Nacogdoches County, into Shelby County. And again, that moves to the east by about 3:30, and the upper level winds really die down beyond that. Of course, we do have some stronger winds that come in late tonight, but these are northwest winds with drier air, less dynamics involved, and that'll start to drop the temperatures into the 40s. So here's future skycast. Marshall to Carthage towards center. You'll watch most of this all. Just need to watch these pulsing thunderstorms here as they head toward Longview and Henderson. Maybe they spin up a severe thunderstorm warning or something like that. But otherwise, remember, as we head through the rest of the afternoon, make sure you have the CBS19 mobile app downloaded. You can also, if we have to go on air for a tornado warning, you can go to your safe place and listen to and follow along on one of our Alpha Media radio partners. That's 106.5 Jack FM, La Invasora, 96.7, The Ranch, it's 104.1, and Kicks FM at 105.7. All right, so where we stand right now, and we'll go all the way back through this, and I'll just back us up. We have to go all the way back to the top and talk about what we're facing. That is a tornado watch until 7 o'clock. But currently, just looking at the radar, things are not looking too bad at this time. All right, so we will take a break right now. We will send you, well, if you have any other questions on Facebook or at our CBS19 .tv streaming through the website, we will end our stream right now, and you'll get back to whatever we were streaming beforehand. But if you have any other questions, please go to our the YouTube comments or the Facebook page and post those questions there. Thanks for watching our Facebook Live here on CBS 19.